Hey y'all, it's your girl Cyber Asia Monet, and I'm back with another video. I apologize because I didn't have time to record an intro because I recorded this video an hour before I had to go to a birthday party, and then after the birthday party it was late, so I didn't get to do it. But today we're going to be transforming a t-shirt and shorts into a crop top. First, you want to turn your shirt inside out, and I laid down a crop top that I wanted the shirt to resemble so I can use it as a template. And then I'm just going to add pins along the side. Now I'm going to sew along the inside of my pins, and I'm going to do a zigzag stitch because it's stretchy material, so you want to have that stretch, and I want mine to be snug, so I'm going to go on the inside. If you don't want it to be that snug, you can go along the outside. After you cut on the outside of your hemlines, this is what your shirt should look like. Now I'm going to take the shorts, and I was making sure that the waistband was around the same size as what I wanted it to be at the top, and it ended up being perfect. And plus, these shorts have elastic in the inside to where if it wasn't the size that I wanted it to be, then I could adjust the elastic to make it tighter or looser. So I'm just going to seam rip off all the pocket or the belt loops. Now that I did that, I'm going to cut the waistband off. Now remember to leave seam allowance because you don't want to cut right up under the waistband, because then you're going to have a difficult time attaching it to the shirt. So leave like 1/4 of an inch seam allowance so that you can sew it to the shirt and make it look seamless. Also, be sure that when you get to the front that you go around the buttons, because you want to have that detail in the front. So don't cut any of the buttons off, and make sure you're very careful to be mindful of where the buttons lay inside out, because you don't want to cut that hemming off or anything. Now you just lay the waistband along the top of the shirt and make sure that it's right sides kissing, and you want the buttons to be facing away from the shirt, so that way when you turn it inside out, then the buttons are down inside of the shirt, if that makes sense. So just be careful and make sure that you do this step right, because this step is the look. I measured the width of my shirt because I wanted to make sure that the buttons sat directly in the middle and it wouldn't be like too far right or too far left. So then I just placed the pin there. That way when I'm pinning down my waistband to my top, it's not shifting a little bit and I end up with the buttons right in the middle again. So now I'm gonna sew down the waistband, and I made sure that it was pretty close to the line, the waist hemming line, so that way it can look seamless when I flipped it inside out. You want to make sure that you stop your sewing right before and after the buttonholes. So start and stop right before and after the buttons, because you're going to sew the buttons down different from the waistband. All right, so now that that's done, you're just going to make one straight line down the length of the buttons and right in the middle where you have placed your pin at. So now I'm creating a hem and lining it up with the stitch line that's right on the buttons. And I just want this to look neat and professional. I didn't want rough ends. If you want rough ends, you can just go ahead and sew without hemming it in first. But I wanted to hem mine in, and I'm making sure that it's very neat. So now I'm just going to straight stitch right on top of the shirt, and making sure that I take my time, because this is going to show up on my shirt because I am using black thread. I mean, the shirt is dark, but in some spots on top of the graphics, you're going to see the line. So I'm making sure that I go and take my time and make sure that it's very straight and very neat. I also created a horizontal stitch line right up under the buttons.